Nonce watch.
Oh yeah, my favorite part. Pedos.
Let's talk about the rainbow dildo butt monkey for kids.
Not just that. It's a tranny rainbow dildo butt monkey.
It is?
It has tits and a penis.
No, that's... I think that's the guy's nipples. Maybe.
I don't even know. It's
I
scary
don't
at this
want to
point,
know.
to be honest. Ah, shit.
And Robert Longshore says, and missing penalties. Their other contribution.
Yeah, but we don't talk about that, remember? The poor billionaires will start crying and their emotions will be hurt. Oh, no. Poor things. Poor little things. Go cry to mama. Losers.
Yep.
Did I show up in time for the rainbow dildo butt monkey?
You
Yes,
arrived
you
just in time
did.
for the rainbow dildo butt monkey. Hello, second. We're going to
What's
talk
up?
about the rainbow dildo butt monkey.
Oh, jeez.
Aren't you happy?
Yeah, I saw that in a few places and I was like, oh, please tell me they're going to cover this.
That
Yeah.
was fun. Well, it was fun to think about, fun to see and hear about, but
Yeah.
it's not fun to know that it
No.
exists.
What I want to do if I stop being a lazy cunt is do like a short video clip that has like a police siren in the background for the new segment of Nonce Watch.
Yeah.
Yes, it has exposed nipples. It does indeed, Billy Boggs.
Yes.
So,
Oh, God.
Daily Mail. Parents discuss as actor in rainbow-coloured monkey costume with fake penis and nipples appears at library event encouraging children to have nightmares for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
I want to know how fuck anyone thought this was a good idea.
I'm half surprised they're not trying to defend it by like, what, you're arguing against it? You don't want children to be able to read? Because they do that kind of shit where they package like a good idea with a really fucking bad idea. So like in the abortion debate in the US, for example, when it's like the pro-life people are like defund Planned Parenthood, they're like, but what about the mammograms and birth control? Like,
Oh,
no, that can be done by somebody else. Like, you don't need Planned Parenthood specifically to do all that
well,
shit.
Planned Parenthood hates black people, so we should defund it. What's the argument?
Yeah, it's whiteness.
and of course, cis.
So, here we go. The rainbow dildo butt monkey.
See?
Now,
Isn't
see,
that
if it wasn't
so
for the
inclusive?
dildo, I think they'd be doing exactly what you're suggesting, second. They'd be trying to defend it. But I think even the regular sort of scum can't defend the dildo.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too blatant.
Yeah, if it had been like the nipples and butt, they might have. But the dildo? Yeah.
I mean, would you be that surprised if they actually tried to defend it?
Okay, so.
I would be a little surprised because the dildo, like, mostly because of the dildo. If it, like, wasn't for the dildo, they would defend it. Like, because, I mean, I feel like if the drag queen story hour had, like, a dildo, they would, at least in the current climate, be forced to condemn that. But they can get right up to that edge.
Notice how they've been
They can have demons reading to our children.
They've been dead quiet on it. They're not coming out and condemning it, but they aren't defending it either.
Yeah.
So, what do you... this is going to... That picture's going to have to be part of the thumbnail for this segment. What do I cover up the dildo with? Alex Jones's face?
Why not just the mugshot of the guys who were coming for your children?
Eh,
Two on the nose?
two on the
Wait, I have an
nose.
idea. Wait, I'm trying to remember who this person is. Is Cressida Dick a good person or a bad person?
She's a cunt.
Okay, so cover up the dick with Cressida Dick.
Yes! I like
Do
it.
A
Yeah.
pee-pee.
Although the library has now apologized for the costumes after being caught, they initially said, if you've got it flaunted on social media earlier in the day.
Oh my god. So
They must have
fucking
known.
stupid.
They do. They do this. They know this. And they know what they're supporting. They just know that people hate it. And when they catch themselves, they're gonna be like, oh, we didn't mean it. We swear, we didn't mean it.
Who runs their social media account? Cardi B?
A pedo?
Even better, Kaz Ahmed has some more pictures. The rainbow dildo butt monkey was twerking on a bench by the looks of it.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Well,
Oh, Student of History says could always put a Swiss face over it. Yeah, and that sweet face over
yeah,
it.
okay,
That'd work.
no, but yeah, it's not the right size. So I mean, it's a mountain compared to Bosch.
Yeah, but pedophiles. According to the Sun, one parent said someone needs to lose their job over this. No, several people need to lose their jobs, and some people need to go to prison. Another one said, this is unbelievable. Have we completely lost our moral compass as a society? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Not even a little bit.
Like, at this point, as an atheist, I think we need to bring back the crusade. Like, I'm willing to stand there and yell Dice Vault and go, just wipe out all these people.
Yeah, how close are you to
Minecraft.
the Dennis Prager argument of, well, I came to believe in God because I first believed in the devil?
Very far away, but I am definitely coming closer to the Christian values of the best values argument.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting closer myself. It's like, maybe the Bible is the answer because fuck, we need it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, my Christian peddling has worked, as Carl and Callum put it in today's podcast.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but don't get your hopes up too much. I mean, because it's you, I have to stand against it. And besides, Thor is mightier.
Yep, here we go. So these guys have blurred the dildo and the butt, but in the second picture they forgot to blur the dildo.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
God,
Actually,
why?
Yeah.
Why even fucking
An
do this?
investigation
Why
has apparently been opened. What do you need an investigation for? Everyone employed there gets fired, and then the
Easy.
monkey gets arrested. Done. Yeah, so, in a video that has gone viral on social media, there's a video? There's a
Excuse me?
video?!
Oh my god. What?
Do we even want to know?
Yes. Yes.
Oh god. Okay. Okay, here
I'm
we
sorry,
fucking go.
that's too good to pass up.
Okay.
Right, okay, let's see. Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey video. Oh god, this is going in my search history.
Oh my god. So, can you link it to me on Discord? I need to watch this shit.
Okay, let me just mute my desktop audio in case something starts playing copyrighted music, and let's see if I can find it.
God, that's
Come on, where the fuck is this video? Come on. It's got to be out there somewhere. Oh god. Okay, this I can show. This is the number of videos about the Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey.
oh damn.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Right.
Been the Labour Party. Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah, just get rid of it. It's not.
It's communism. It's not. It shouldn't be allowed to exist.
The picture of Diane Abbott.
I know.
That's so photorealistic. Like, did they cheat
Wait,
and
you
not
mean
use
that
art
ain't a
for it?
photo? That ain't a photo?
Did you guys know that I mean, Jordan Peterson was on like Question Time with her?
Freudian slip, my friend.
Oh god, here we
Oh,
go. The post-millennial has the video.
Oh God.
Oh,
Congratulations,
fucking go.
guys. You all get to see the Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey.
I'm turning on sound as I can hear it.
oh my God! What is what?
What the fuck?
What? What?
Oh, it's bouncing.
Oh, great.
Oh man, that was
No.
okay. Not again. Not again. I'm gonna have nightmares.
Oh, I'm done. I'm done. Fuck
Fucking
this.
coming to
Fuck
me in
this.
my dream. Oh,
It's over. That is not something I want to see ever. If I see that happen in a city, I just try and walk away because I know those people are on something.
That is quite possibly the most disgusting thing I've seen in my life. Outside
well,
some of
you
the
know,
sick twisted porn I've looked at.
in America, we have a Second Amendment for a reason.
Yeah. Fucking furries.
Let's go through some of the comments though. Billy Blogs.
Do it.
If they don't stop this, they will be bumming each other in libraries and encouraging kids to join in scene. Nonsense. Yep. Anglo Jones says somehow more horrifying than an SCP. Yep.
Very fucking true.
Billy Blogs says
What's an SCP?
secure,
It's
contain,
basically-
protect. Basically, all your
It's
nasty things that bump in the
creepypastas
night.
turn into monsters.
Ah,
It is
okay.
really
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Yeah, Billy Blog says they should all be arrested. Yep. And Student of History says, you ever just seen something and thought, motherfucker's gonna catch me with a hate crime today? Yep.
That's my life basically right now.
Are rainbow dildo butt monkeys a protected class?
Apparently. I mean, what kind of SCP would that be, guys? Keter or, you know, it wouldn't be Thaumiel. That's for fucking certain.
And here's where it gets ridiculous. They say all future events of the Dildo Monkey reading to children have been cancelled. They were planning more than one!
Oh my God. Oh man. Oh man. That's horrifying.
I'm just done.
We're coming for your children.
Yep. Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey for kids. Video was also released showing. Yep. Is that the one we saw?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Oh no. It's in better quality.
Who asked for better quality?
I didn't want better quality. I don't want it to exist.
Look, I'm going to be honest. If I'd been driving one of those cars passing by, I'd probably be in prison.
Tell me, guys, how does that make children want to read?
If I was a kid, you'd just be like, the books, take the books away!
Well, it'd probably make them want to read like a bunch of self-help books later in life, so maybe they're playing 4D chess.
Well, maybe they've infiltrated all the shrinks in the local area. Because those kids are going to need fucking therapy. I think I need therapy.
Yeah.
And Breitbart. Labour grovels after Rainbow Monkey Dildo Story Hour spikes from Muslim parents.
What a title.
Brand new fucking sentence there. Rainbow Monkey Dildo Story Hour. Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey Story Hour.
Can we just tell the left they can't do story hours anymore?
Like, can we
they all
just...
seem to be...
New rule, leftists not allowed within 100 feet of a school. Or children. And there we have Boris Johnson pictured with Rainbow Nipple Butt Monkey.
Of Labour.
Hmm.
Probably why.
What festival or thing was this again?
Probably Pride.
Caramba.
Probably Pride. Man, Boris looks young there.
Yes. Yep, that's definitely the same kind of monkey.
God damn it.
Damn it, Boris.
Back in 2008 at some bullshit. Oh, at Mandinga.
Yeah, but what was it?
It doesn't say what event it was, I don't think.
I think
abomination.
the Lotus Eaters mentioned it, but I can't remember.
They did, I can't remember. Yeah, mandatory exclusion orders for leftists. We just take...
I'm a conservative.
Look, I've got an idea. We just take the entire Democrat voting register and add it to the sex offender list.
That would be perfect.
Because remember, they are coming for your children.
Yeah.
They're coming for them.
They're coming for your children.
Yeah, that was pretty good, actually.
We'll convert your
I
children. Someone's got to teach them not to hate. We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them.
Okay.
Come on them, too.
God bless the Second Amendment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, that's in England. And England doesn't have a Second Amendment.
Well, the gay community is in America, but the Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey, that's in English. See what happens when you give up your guns, Trim? You end up with Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkeys.
Yes.
Yep.
Rainbow Butt Monkey story time.
At least we still have knives.
I mean, like, knives of peace.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, America has the Second Amendment, so that was just sung about here. The Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey actually went into a library with children in the UK.
Like, I'm reasonably sure that in any sane country, the appropriate response to a Rainbow Dildo Butt Monkey walking into a library full of children is tasing to the face.
Again,
bare minimum.
Makes sense.
I'm just imagining an Islamist on, like, the cusp of being de-radicalized to... Maybe the West isn't so bad, and we don't have to wage jihad against it. And then saying that and being like, no, death to the West.
Yeah.
Would you really blame him?
No, not anymore.
We do not have the fucking high ground on this one. We're letting this exist.
We need standards.
Yeah, I wish we had. Or at least, it's not we that need standards. People need standards.
What? Wait, what was the fucking title of that?
What?
Of this? Extremely funny, San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus video unleashes torrent of right-wing threats and vitriol.
God.
Yes, it fucking should have. Also, not extremely funny.
Yeah, because they have to talk about it because we swear it was a joke, guys. It was a joke. It wasn't really we wanted to come for your children or come on them. Probably.
Yep. And they're removing unauthorized versions of the video as quickly as they can, so they're copy striking people who are showing it. We're not even sure if the version below is authorized, the idiots who writing this article say. But god damn it, this is a funny satirical video that deserves to be watched umpteen times. No, it's a fucking terrifying indoctrination video.
Oh, god damn it.
Yep. Student of history says, Russia, maybe liberalism isn't bad. Sees a rainbow dildo butt monkey. Nyet!
I like how there's already an acronym for it.
Yeah, it
Yep.
is.
And then we've got Governor
there's
Pedophile,
gonna
but
be
we'll get to him
There's
later.
going to be an RDBM fetish community,
Well,
isn't there?
what?
Yeah.
What was that? Well,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
what was that about the governor?
We'll get to that. But it's
Oh,
more
please tell me you
nonsense.
haven't. Please tell me you haven't gotten to Texas yet without me.
We haven't
There's
got to
Texas. Oh god.
What?
Not one of these things, but something else I mentioned
Oh,
earlier.
is it based? Please tell me it's based.
It's like fucked, but there is basedness in it.
Okay, so it's fucked, but
Okay.
there's
Well,
something in it.
you'll have to tell us all about it once we get over today's episode of
Yeah.
Not's Watch.
Wisconsin school provides sexually explicit books to third graders.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing that I mean, they said it in the podcast, I just didn't remember because I was multitasking.
It teaches them how to use Grindr. Grindr. It's
God, I thought
encouraging
it-
them to commit criminal acts.
I
thought
don't
at
mean
least this
I
would
don't
be
mean to
in
sound
middle
paranoid,
school or
guys.
high school or something.
I don't mean to
But
sound
fuck.
paranoid, guys, but is it just me, or is it that everybody is like, oh, that one is gay, that one's gay? It's just me, or do they really want children? Really want children, and not
If
in the
memory
parental
serves
way.
me right, this would be like 8 and 9-year-olds.
Yeah. 8 plus minus 6 months. Give or take. So, prepubescent, sub 10 children, sexually explicit books via the school-provided computers, including content that dubs traditional views of marriage as ignorant. Oh, I'm sorry, is one man, one rainbow dildo butt monkey not good enough for you anymore?
No, they want more. Need more. More rainbow dildo butt monkey. More dildo butt monkey. More. Apparently.
Yeah. So, this book is gay, offers a play-by-play of how to use Grindr and other sex apps.
Sounds really gay, guys. It sounds really gay.
It sounds really fucking noncy.
Oh, but are you homophobe? Are you really homophobe now? How dare you?
We need like that organization in that one episode of South Park, Gays Against Fags.
Ha!
Yeah. Okay, let me... So, it tells them how sex apps work. Because that's something an 8-year-old needs to know. You upload a tiny picture of yourself to the app. Yes, commit a federal offense. Then get everyone who looks at it to, by default, commit a federal offense. The app works out your location.
They upload a kid's image to a gay dating app.
No. They're giving the kids books on how to upload their own photos to gay dating apps. The app works out your location. It tells you who the nearest homosexuals are. You then chat to them. Because they are near, it is easier to be molested by them. Also, let's have a look at the book itself. This book is gay.
That sounds really gay, guys. That sounds really gay.
And not in a good way. Oh,
Is
God.
there even a good way to be gay nowadays?
Blackwell's has added the racial pride flag to it.
Oh, great. The best one. But even that one is
updated
outdated.
it with the...
I mean,
Yeah.
isn't that one is kind of outdated now? Isn't there a one with another
Probably.
another triangle on the other side?
I miss the conservative pride flag.
Yeah.
I don't like any pride flag.
So let's see what The Guardian from 2014 says the book is about. I don't. He's the useless piece of shit who wrote it says, I don't like writing that because. Ah, no, they say it was brave of James Dawson to write this book. I don't think writing that because. Well, fuck me. This is poorly written because God forbid they hire someone who can read or write. Ew.
That shit is almost as bad as my
I
writing.
actually met Queen of Teen, James Dawson, at the Hay Festival a couple of months back. Tell me they're not pedophiles. Okay, at no point do they actually tell you what the book's about, because it's just pathetic virtue signaling.
I'm willing to give the author the benefit of the doubt and assuming his work was not intended
Apparently
for
it's a woman.
elementary school students.
It's some kind of creature that may or may not be a man or woman.
It makes it better, guys. It makes it better if it's a woman. No problem. It's a woman.
Wait,
A
go back.
fantastic book for classrooms and school libraries. This book is gay is a must-read for teachers and parents as well as teens themselves.
Wait, I'm sorry. Go back to the last story article.
That was the last story?
No, my bad. Go to the last article.
This, Guardian?
Yeah. Scroll up. Wait. Okay, so it's a tranny.
Apparently so. They are now Juno Dawson. It's a tranny.
Imagine my shock.
Tell me why we shouldn't just go back to the old position of the gays are going to take your children and react appropriately.
Because we're in new times, you know, the glorious, acceptable patience and whatever times. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's specifically being marketed to teenagers. To teenagers. And this other school is giving it to primary schoolers, elementary schoolers, whatever you call it in your local area.
So aggressive.
Oh man, teenagers. So bad.
The book Queer, which parents dub sexually explicit, and we will look that book up as well, because unlike the Lotus Eaters, we don't believe in sticking to 20-minute segments. And
well,
unlike
also
the
it's
Lotus
like
Eaters, our stream's fucking working.
Also, I'm not one of those like abstinence-only sex ed guys. I think abstinence is preferable, but like, you know, teaching people how to have safe sex is, you know, I think important. But like teaching students at school how to like use sex apps and shit, like even if they were in high school, like that wouldn't be as nancy, but it would still be like a really like I get like wanting them to be safe if they do it, but should we like really be encouraging it? I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a bunch of books called Queer, so I have no idea which one this is.
Oh,
so it gives
hell.
them an in-depth analysis of anal sex, oral sex, one-night stands. Yes, bad. Vaginal sex with dildos. Not good.
Because you can't have it in penises. That's not gay.
Somehow God always comes into the picture when queer people come out. Yes, because at this point, I think the reaction to Sodom and Gomorrah was based.
What? Wait. What was is this being taught to the same class, or what's the context behind this
So
one?
the kids have access to all these books. All these books, one school, same set of kids.
Yikes.
Yep, they proceed to describe 3 types of religious people: the God hates figs people, the God can help you people, the hate the sin, love the sinner people. The first people are described as the individuals who use religion to justify their ignorant viewpoints and tell you that you're going to burn in hell for being gay. No, you're going to burn in hell for being pedophiles.
That's it.
The God can help you people. These people try to convince you that God will help you become straight. They'll try to save you in this way. Big fans of reparative therapy. Hate the sin and love the sinner people. These people try to tell you that even if you can't help being gay, you should never act on it because gay sex is immoral and ungodly. Well, of course they tell you that. That's what they believe.
Also, hate the sin, love the sinner is like the most based statement ever.
Maybe, but I am not that inclusive.
Yeah.
I've stopped being that inclusive. I will not be there.
Yep, parents are also concerned that the books do not align with the state of Wisconsin's sex education policy, which promises to teach towards abstinence. Well, let's have a look at the policy. Because is it as bad as they seem to be trying to make it out? Yep, okay. Comprehensive sex education, medically accurate sex education, or otherwise addresses all elements of comprehensive sex education, as defined by the Sexuality Information and Education Council. Right, so basically they're saying, I'm going to take
your PC around?
I'm going to take a guess before I actually read this, that they are saying, don't fuck, but if you do fuck, use protection.
Okay, so that's a really dishonest framing of it then. Usually when people say abstinence only sex education, they mean like not teaching anything about condoms or birth control.
They're being blatantly dishonest. So I'm going to see if my assumption is correct. Where in the fuck
birth control?
is it?
We talk about birth control?
My birth control! Right when you're trying to take my birth control, damn my birth control. I put whatever I want in my body.
Apparently,
I think the best birth control is castration. I'm sorry, but
everybody.
After seeing what the Heartstrings put up yesterday, I went, yeah, okay. I'm starting to. I don't want to say that a certain person with the initials AH had an idea, but no, no, it's not a hot take. Any person who would look at that video and think this is a good idea should be burned.
But Spoon, did you see the rainbow dildo butt monkey?
I like the way that you say that, and it's true, and it's not a meme. Did you say no? This isn't a joke. This is actually. I know it's terrifyingly depressing. But
rainbow dildo butt monkey story time.
This is something you'd see in like a Family Guy cutaway gag.
Actually, yeah.
Like that's not even a joke. It's seriously something you would see in a cutaway gag.
I feel sorry for modern day satirists.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Like the bee's probably going to go out of fucking business
because everyone else is just being stupid.
Yeah. Like the Bee reports more fucking news more accurately than CNN.
Does that mean that Babylon Bee is going to eventually become a credible journalistic outlet?
You mean it isn't already?
Well, more so than it already is, put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact things, but there were some things that they, predicted.
Yeah.
Rainbow dildo butt monkey. Like, that's fucking hell. I have no words.
I have one... I don't... Is it one word or two words or one word hyphenated? Wood chipper.
I have a theory.
Go on.
My theory is since Trump has been displaced as a news article, so to speak, a source of revenue, something else has to take its place. And now this
Right.
is the shit that takes its place.
Makes sense.
And it is insane, for a lack of a better descriptive word, I would imagine, because seeing the shit that you just think, like, do you guys just look at the news and go, has the world just lost its fucking mind? Like, just seriously, this is not a joke. This is just deranged.
Several times a day, actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's not just me.
Yeah.
Because fucking hell.
Just wait
There's-
until
there's
I
a-
tell you how things are going in prison Australia. It's great.
You have one COVID case and the entire state shuts down?
Yeah, basically.
Or none? Yeah.
No, that's
I
New
found-
Zealand,
I-
like where you've got no COVID cases and then they shut you down.
Yeah, but it's run by a woman. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, but guys, don't you see how much sense that makes?
No,
COVID is
because I'm a
dangerous.
man.
COVID is dangerous, everybody. We have to be careful.
You know what else
Oh
is
my
dangerous?
God.
Suicide, because everyone else is indoors with nothing to do and nowhere to earn money.
Yeah, so two of those stories go into one. I've been kind of struggling with depression. So on Monday, I went to the doctor's office. And as I, to talk about it, got prescribed some antidepressants or whatever. As I was leaving at the checkout, the person at the checkout desk at a hospital had like the mask beneath the nose, which tells me it was required, but even the people there know, like, yeah, this isn't like,
This is bullshit, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
at a
Dude,
hospital, they know it's bullshit.
Even here in Ireland, I've noticed it doesn't say wear a mask, it says wear a face covering. Now, fucking scarf is a face covering, but it's doing fuck all.
We'll get to that.
Oh, do you guys have the same thing? Because I noticed
We
people
did-
in the...
We'll get to that.
I've noticed
I've got a news
people-
article on it.
Oh, God, because I see people over here wear it, and I've noticed it's just become like a creepy fashion trend. It's not in any way useful anymore. And it makes me
Yes.
just think, why are you doing that? You look a pleb.
Yes,
I feel like I'm the only person in society that took the red pill. I'm walking by a sea of idiots.
yeah, pretty much. But we'll get to how
Okay, so it's not just
how they've fixed that loophole later. So we've been talking about, what is it? Wisconsin's school that's allowing the kids to have all these degenerate books, and how all the articles on it seem to be talking about how the Wisconsin sex education policy is pushing towards or teaching towards abstinence, which, as we've covered, is a very dishonest way of framing it, because their sexual education policy, that seems pretty good. So,
But don't engage in sex.
it's actually better
I
than
mean,
that.
I was going to say, because the way that leftists look nowadays, I don't think anyone is going to want to shag them.
Yeah. So, let's have a look at the Wisconsin's actual sexual education guidelines. So, age appropriate means suitable to a particular age group of pupils based on their developing cognitive and emotional capacity. Medically accurate information means information that's scientifically based and published where appropriate in peer-reviewed journals and textbooks. Well, that's okay. The lefts will just redefine all of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So, school board may provide an instructional program in human growth and development in grades kindergarten to 12. If they elect to provide it, then the school board establishes the curriculum for the instruction program. School board shall make determinations, blah, 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 shall be where the subjects covered in the curriculum, the pupils should be separated by gender, blah, 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 blah. So,
I'm sketchy because anytime I feel when there's sex education and the phrase instructions comes into play, I'm instantly going, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, just that is a phrase that instantly makes the hair of the back
Yeah,
of my neck
I
stand
get
up and
exactly
go,
where
"Wood
you're coming
chipper,
from."
Please start it now.
I get exactly where you're coming from, but they're saying instructional program as would be defined elsewhere as basically a way of teaching a specific subject. So you'd have an instructional program for geometry. But
Nice.
yes, when you're saying you're going to instruct people in
Creepy way
sexual
to word it.
education is yeah. So
Yeah, that
they would need to present medically accurate information to pupils and where age appropriate address the following topics: Importance of communication about sexuality between the pupil and the pupil's parents and guardians. Pre-progressive. Reproductive and sexual anatomy and physiology, kind of fucking important, but including biological, psychosocial, emotional, and intellectual changes that accompany maturation. Good. Seems like the relevant parts of sex ed.
Lovely.
Vibrant.
They've
Do
sometimes...
these people think that if this was somehow omitted from the curriculum, that society would collapse and people would not know how to produce any more human beings? Because that's the way it comes off,
Well,
which to me is insane and a deranged, stupid opinion to have, because that's not how humans work.
Well, I actually think it's the opposite. The whole thing is about stopping them from reproducing.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with
You
that.
know the way that you further your species. Yeah, please stop doing that. Why?
We don't like it. That's basically their argument. So, it also tells them to address the benefits of and reasons for abstaining from sexual activity. Yes, because you can't get pregnant if you don't stick your dick in the same postcode or so. Instruction under the subdivision shall stress the value of abstinence as the only reliable way to prevent pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections. This is true. It's
Not true.
Well, it's 100% effective whenever it's being used. Problem is, people aren't 100% effective at not fucking. You're never going to get people to stop fucking. But when they're not fucking, they're guaranteed to not get someone pregnant.
I feel like anyone who says you're not allowed to engage in... Oh, wait, the British government already did that. Never mind.
It's okay. You just both need to wear face masks.
Of course.
Or be the health secretary.
That too.
And it'd be somebody else's wife.
Oh my.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the Woody doll guy?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So, methods. Yep.
Fucking
Methods
Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Go on.
Right, so methods for developing healthy life skills, including setting goals, making responsible decisions, communicating, and managing stress. Yep, sounds good. How alcohol and drug use affect responsible decision making. Good. The impact of media and one's peers on thoughts, feelings, and behaviors related to sexuality. Fine, I guess. Adoption resources, prenatal care, and postnatal supports. Really good. The nature and treatment of sexually transmitted infections. I mean, seems reasonably okay for sex ed. Everything we've read so far.
I had some ideas of the responsible decisions. Leave social media, turn off television, and get homeschooled.
Sounds nice.
Based.
Sounds like a good idea.
Does anyone disagree with any of those three things?
Nope.
No, there we go.
Hey, second, what are you
deprogram
doing?
society.
It sounds like you're using sandpaper.
Oh, sorry.
Sounds like you're sweeping
I'm
something.
trying to disagree with schooling, but like I just can't come up with the argument at this point.
For which?
Huh?
Disagreeing with which?
Homeschooling.
Honestly, the only argument against homeschooling is socialization. Or at least the only sane one
yeah.
I've heard.
Well, yeah, exactly.
That
That's
and,
kind of the main thing in my head.
Yeah, and I think it would put another further strain on parents.
Well, the middle class plus parents in a lot of places are going, fuck it, we're homeschooling all 30 of our kids in this sub-neighborhood, and then we're just going to get a real teacher to come in and do it for us, and then we've just solved all the fucking problems. We employ the teacher, who then teaches a class of 30 people.
Yeah, I don't know why people can't just say, like, hey, look, I'll just pay less tax, and then I'll pay a teacher to personally teach kids. And then the teachers or the parents can... I know this is like a total utopian idea, but then the teacher can say to the parents, this is what I'd like to teach your kids. And the first lesson is, Marxism is gay.
Oh,
Here is why.
Yes.
I
If
like
I was
that
a
one.
teacher, this is the two things I would teach: is Marxism is shit, postmodernism is for nonsense, and that capitalism is how you survive and thrive.
Marxism is gayer than Grindr.
Is that really surprising?
What, that Marxism is gayer than Grindr?
Not really.
I don't know. I don't know what his view on homosexuals are. I know he doesn't like blacks and Jews.
The Mexicans.
And Marxists.
But Marxists doesn't like other Marxists?
Yeah.
No, probably not unless they agree with them.
Karl Marx didn't even like Marxists.
No, that wouldn't surprise me. It's a really, I find it really funny that they're for inclusivity, except that everyone who disagrees with you is excluded. So it's not really very inclusive when it's basically an exclusivity of thought. So why are you inclusive, you fucking tyrants? Like anyone can poke a hole in your ideology within the space of 10 seconds after hearing it. Which is mind-blowing why anyone follows it, because it's so backwards and hypocritical in every fucking way.
It's so fucking absurd, the fucking weird inter-Marxist conflicts that they get into with each other. Well, no, technically not this. I'm a Marxist-Leninist, or no, I'm a syndicalist.
Even Jordan Peterson said that if you start poking at the ideology, it falls apart really quickly.
Yeah.
Which is something that terrifies me, because anyone, if you just explain it, would go, I have 50,000 questions from hearing this within 100 seconds, and are you going to give me an answer? No, because it'd be contradictory. It terrifies me that it's gotten traction, because, again, it is so easy to debunk.
Well, yeah, but then they'll just go, oh, well, you see, you're using something called logic, or those kinds of arguments. You see, what is it? A false consciousness or something? Is that the term they use?
Why? I'd like to know something. Why does the intellectual elite have this grip on normal people's mind? It's as if people are not confident in their own intellectual capacity. I mean, I'm speaking from my own experience, but if I listen to someone and I feel their ideas are fucking nuts, I'll just say, you're an idiot, and what you just said makes absolutely no sense. You can pepper it with all your fancy shenanigans that might work on a lesser being, but I have a triple-digit IQ, and it is over 100, at least. So I know what you're saying is nuts, and this has been tried in how many countries, and it's killed over 100 million people. So exactly what is it different from yours? It's not. It's exactly the same fucking thing. Your philosophical arguments are exactly the same. Your ideas are no different, and it will result in tyranny. It's really, that's all you need to say. Someone that says, we should try this again. Fucking why? Would you like to add more
I'm
to the death
smarter and I think I can do it properly. Because I'll be one of the glorious leaders of the party. Not the loser up against the wall.
I would be a good dictator, because I said today in the Lotus Eaters that Ayn Rand's philosophy is good, but it doesn't work in the public sector unless you can be like Trump, where your self-interest is not a fiscal gain but your own ego. And I am much more driven by my own ego than a fiscal gain, because I don't have this massive materialistic desire. I would rather have a free society with a massive, powerful army that I can crush everyone with. That's more fun. I don't want to be this like, oh, I am the leader of everything. Oh my God, the responsibility of that? Fuck no. Just separate the power as much as I can. I'd like to be the guy that took credence for the everyone else is fucking shit, and you idiots elite don't know anything, and all of these people combined know a hell of a lot more than you do. But let's have a really strong military, so when some commie bastards decide that this is no longer utopia, that I can put a tank up their asshole and fire them to the moon. Any objections to that?
Good. No.
No, thanks.
There we go.
You get my vote.
And this is how I would run for office.
Yeah, to quote Ron Swanson, my ideal government is one man in a room who decides who to nuke. He'll be chosen by something like an IQ test and maybe a physical component like a decathlon. And he'll have women brought to him if he desires them.
I had an hypothesis for an idea. This can go potentially wrong, obviously, because it's my ideas and therefore it's subject to Swiss cheese. I'm of the opinion that no politician should ever handle any more money than they've earned in their lifetime. If you're a businessman, you've made like 20 million, I think you can handle a tax plan that involves $20 million. But if you're like AOC, where you've never made more than, I don't know, $30 out of your own skill, anything more than that, you are not allowed to handle in any capacity in government. It should only be handled by people who have earned that amount of money.
Yeah.
because I feel like they know how much they're actually holding. Because I think someone who has no idea but says, "Hey, look, I can spend 50 million how I want. It's not my money." That to me is genuinely terrifying. Or
Well,
if somebody says, "I earn 50 million, now you have to spend it well." I feel their mind is much more tuned to how could I effectively allocate this more effectively.
I feel like the area that would like kind of, well, just one example to where I think that would fall. I think by that standard, nobody would be able to like handle the U.S. military budget, for example, which is an obviously important and essential thing.
I was thinking more of economic grounds than
Oh,
military.
okay, I see.
Yes.
My thought is more so like a flat tax rate so that like these like fucking idiots who think that they, oh, we'll just squeeze everything out of the rich to build a utopia. No, if you're going to vote for that, you're going to feel that in the wallet too.
Yes. I speaking of that, I have plans on doing a documentary about FDR, and I'd like to read a book called New Deal or Raw Deal. It's by the same. You remember the thing that I read about the four businesses? What the hell was the name of the book? About the oil industry, the myth of the robber barons. It's by the same guy, because I like these books. So I want to read the FDR one, and he makes a case of why FDR's New Deal is god fucking awful, and based on what I've read about the Great Depression and FDR and how shit it was, it makes me think if I could get any more detail, I could make a pretty good documentary about why he is one of the most evil presidents in U.S. history. Because from what I've read, it makes me go, oh my god, people. He has this great reverence, even though he's a fucking tyrant. Like, this is a man that said of Mussolini, that fine Italian gentleman.
See, it's actually, oh my god. Well, it's actually kind of funny. You know, in my US history class in like 11th grade or something, my teacher was pretty chill and he had a pretty like just kind of blunt way of putting things. So when we were learning about FDR and his new deal, he was like, yeah, so he was like campaigning and he kept talking about a new deal, but he never really explained what that was when he was campaigning. He just kept saying it and people got excited for it. So he got into office like, okay, fuck, what am I doing now? That was the description I got.
I went to go look up some of the stuff about the New Deal, and I didn't know this. I think there was a small group of people who was responsible for the overall like architecture of the New Deal, and one of the architects of the New Deal was so disgusted by it that he actually not only condemned it and became one of the most outspoken critics of it, but he switched parties.
Really?
Yes,
That's
I didn't know this.
commitment.
I went like, holy shit. So this is how bad it was that one of the people who fucking made it decided it was fucking awful and switched parties to condemn it. That's how bad it was.
That guy gets some kudos from me. That's for fucking certain.
Yeah, that's a ballsy move.
That's
It's
a
like,
redemption arc in itself.
yeah, it really is. And it made me go, holy shit. And something I noticed about FDR, because I read a preview of the book because I wanted to see what it was like and think, oh, I want to read this. He had, first of all, I think he went to law school in New York, and he was a terrible student and a fucking god awful lawyer. I think someone even who employed him said he was utterly fucking useless. And he describes like an intellectual, like a social elite club that he could never get in, and he described that as the biggest failure of his life, which really tells you what he thinks. If that is the biggest failure of your life, is that you couldn't get into some social club. So you really are like a snooty prick. And there's one point where he wanted to tax the people earning over, I think, $60,000 during the height of the Depression at a whopping 99%.
Holy fuck.
And when even his own advisors said why, his reply was, why not?
Because they'll fucking crush you, you stupid fucking man.
This was a man who was elected 4 fucking times.
4 times.
Yes. Which, thank God for term limits, because Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But, dude, man, I read this and I thought, oh my God, this explains so much. Because there's a certain personality you don't put in office, and he is the quintessential epitome of that example. Of I can solve the world's problems. That's why I said he's like a cliched caricature, and that's why I put that picture in the video of him smoking the Constitution. Because that is pretty. I was looking for just FDR caricatures because I thought like this is a good way to describe him, and I went through a list of them, and that was one of them. I went, oh my god, I have to use this because this is brilliant. It's perfect. There's a bunch of other ones, but I thought like this is like the best picture of this entire video is that one. Of course, the Hitler one where I said "fuck off, we're fascists" was pretty good too. But yes, oh dear God. Also, don't teach kids sex eds in school because I don't trust the state when it comes to sex,
Or children.
as evidenced by Matt Hancock.
I mean,
It's a
it's
bad idea.
not to be trusted by anyone. It should be the parents' responsibility.
Yes, I agree. I don't like this idea of essentially the state becoming the arbiter of everything that is good.
Just bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not just that. It's just that it's very obvious that an excessive amount of power corrupts people. And you know it gets really bad when you can't say communism is bad in the news and you're the fucking press secretary of the United States. Like I feel like that's when your government is fucked. Hey, look, we've
When you
got
have
thousands of
failed as
refugees
a
coming
human
over from
being.
Cuban.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Spoon. I have a British friend in like London, and he basically we had a conversation. He basically said that like the Anglican Church being like run by the state of England is like largely what killed it.
I probably agree with that, actually. I don't like the idea of a state religion. I mean, we regularly bash the Muslims for their theocracies, so I don't see why the hell we should have one. But I do think the church
But I
does
mean,
serve some function.
right. Well, I mean, it's more than just that. It was just kind of the joke of like bureaucracy kills everything.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's just the idea of having a single entity that is immune to any criticism is guaranteed to pull in the worst of society. And if it isn't someone who is bad, they will be corrupted once they're incited because the temptation seems to be overwhelming. And that's why you end up with fucking AOC, who's with Black Lives Matter, saying, oh, look, we should defend the communist revolution. Why, you fucking psycho? I don't know if this is true, by the way. I just saw a video with that headline, so I'm assuming. I trust the source to be credible. So there's a short YouTube channel, I don't know if you guys are aware of it, called the GOP War Room. Check it out. It does like 30-second or a minute clips where it just shows things that you see in the news headlines, which is enough to make you go, yeah, you should probably not do this. And by that I mean AOC exist.
Yeah.
I mean, you can live. Just do not be in government because you are clearly out of your fucking depth, and you're a grifting bitch.
I mean,
that is obvious.
This might go against some values for some liberal people, but to me, I think we should take a note after Eastern Europeans. Any fucking communist party, anyone with communist sympathies, should just fuck off from politics. Again, bring back the Red Scare.
I agree with this because I don't believe in freedom and equality for everyone. I feel that is a power, and with power comes responsibility. And once you start advocating for ideas that would inhibit somebody else's freedom, that is when the freedom that you have can be cut off. Like a second, you say, I'm in a liberal democracy that has given people thousands of dollars and pounds and euros of earnings throughout their lifetime, and I wish to take that away by instituting a massive state authority. That is when people can come and kick your ass. Like I legitimately think a mob can come and say, "You're a communist, get the fuck out, or we will kick the shit out of you." I feel like that's justified because what you're advocating for is human misery.
Yep. Of course, they say it's for the good of all, and and niceness and
Then
candy. And
fuck off to a communist country.
that'd be so nice if they could.
What was it that Sargon said that you should trade the leftists for the Cuban refugees?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm 100% okay with that. Because you'd get rid of leftist voters and import Republican ones. That's a fucking win-win.
That would be beautiful. That would be.
It
It's
would be
also
great.
it's also why the Democrats do not want those Cuban refugees, because
Yeah.
they know the second they get to the United States, they'll all vote fucking Republican, which
Well, we
tells
all-
you they don't give a fuck about helping people. They're power-hungry tyrants.
Well, you know, of all tyrannies, a tyranny sincerely exercised for the good of its victims may be the most oppressive. It would be better to live under robber barons than to live under more omnipotent moral busybodies. The robber baron's cruelty may sleep, his cupidity may at some point be satiated. But those who torment us for our own good will torment us without end, for they do so with the approval of their own conscience.
Who said that again? Because I've read that quote somewhere.
C.S. Lewis.
There we go.
That
He's not
guy-
wrong.
That guy is.
Based.
Yep. Among other
He's
things.
not wrong. That is true.
Yeah.
I also feel like that's the kind of attitude that inhibits and powers the Karens.
Can I speak with your manager? Sorry, couldn't help it.
Oh god.
My kids are watching Kids Bop.
fuck?
Yeah, why aren't you watching your kids? Would be my reply. Oh,
Speaking
God,
of
the Karens.
kids,
But yeah, student of history, yeah, that does sound like, as soon as like Spoon talked about, I don't want the state to be the moral arbiter of every. I thought of like Sargon's Starship Troopers video where he just read off a bunch of Mussolini and Giovanni Gentili quotes.
I'm basically doing a video that he did, but I'm doing about a game.
Nice.
Also, I
Probably not
like
good.
that you sent in. I think it was yesterday or yesterday's video. I like that he used the emoticons on your Spoon figure.
Yeah,
was
that was
nice.
amazing.
The which?
The video you sent in yesterday or the day before that. You used the Spoon emojis. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, at the end when I just said anyway, yeah, because it
Uh,
made me laugh. Even I had trouble doing that line and not find it funny. Because it is funny. Because when I recorded it, and I just thought like, what would Sargon be like? Because I have this thing where I think if you, if I could ever ask him a question, I would say to him this: like, I know you say you'd be siding with the Patriots, but in my head I'm thinking you're English. I can't imagine if you were an Englishman in this time, you would be for the Patriots. You'd be a loyalist because you're English. You have no reason to side with the Patriots because you're losing your colony. So I don't believe he would necessarily be a patriot. I think he would be a loyalist just because of his national ties. And I think he's making the mistake of, I know what's happening, and this is my philosophy that I have now. So this is how I would look at the past with my current moral and knowledgeable outlook, because I know what's going to happen. Whereas I don't think if he was in it at that time, he would necessarily be a patriot. So,
Well, I mean, there's kind of two things to that. One that would essentially destroy the premise of any of those questions. But two, I think it would depend if he was like, or in like the colony itself, where there was like inherently like more division about
yeah, because I
it.
feel
Where,
like
where it's less of a matter.
a philosophical
Naked's-
argument.
Well, no, I mean, like if he's in the colony and the choice is staying with Britain and leaving, as opposed to being in Britain and losing the colony, there's less of a matter of naked self-interest to it. So I think that would be the more interesting.
Yeah, because I feel if I no, I want to say something, but I can't say it here.
You just need
it's-
Sargon to like respond to that video. I'm a conservative. Like the
Yeah,
peace
'cause-
snap.
Yeah, because I know he said he'd be a patriot, but I in my head I went, I feel like if I could, I'd like to have a discussion with him about that, because I think I would convince him to the point where it's like, yeah, I probably would be a loyalist actually. Because I do feel like he would. Because it's why I made the video when I put the script in. I went, he says he's a patriot, but I imagine because he hates the French, he would be a loyalist just to piss off the French.
Pretty much.
Because even
Well,
when he said you'd be a loyalist, he went based. I was like, yeah, that response right there. That's why I think you'd be a loyalist.
Well,
Because
it's
as soon as he
actually
went
kind
King
of
George, he went based. I was like, yeah, you're a loyalist, mate.
well. There's actually an interesting thing about conservatism where I've grown more and more towards like not necessarily politically, socially conservative arguments, but like culturally and socially social conservative arguments, where it's kind of like, and it really is that thick concepts thing or the importance of family, where it's like, no, these roles, like being a man, being a woman,
Serves a
father,
function.
a mother, a husband, a wife. Yeah. Well, it doesn't just serve a function. Like it turns a person into somebody that other people need, can understand and rely upon, and it creates like an aspirational goal.
Yeah.
It like there is something of intrinsic weight to that. Why like even when I was like on the left, or like even when I was just more like, no, people should do whatever kind of thing. There was something where it's like the push against things like man up or the idea of being manly always like intrinsically bothered me. I think because I always recognized the intrinsic weight, value, aspiration, and usefulness of the idea of being a man.
Yeah, well, there's a cartoon that I watched where someone did like they did like a life swap where they didn't have any children, and they said like, look how empty your life is. Like you have no one who depends on you, and now your life is miserable and empty. And this is a cartoon. I feel like if that message nowadays would be offensive to feminists or some shit. Not that feminists would ever watch some things like that, but
Let it be so.
Or like Sargon's rant on his most recent Christmas stream, where he was like, ooh, all this edgy, subversive stuff. Like, you are a balding, childless millennial in your 30s, sat there nihilistically going, oh God, everything's awful, we're going to die. Yeah, of course you think that, because there is nothing more important to you than your own physical body. But once you have children, that all goes away, because suddenly their life is worth more to you than your own, and you will never understand what that's like.
and that is why I
Fucking
will never have kids,
beautiful rant.
because I feel like my physical body is more important to me than most things. I also
Well, you
feel
think-
like
Well, you think that now, but what about when you get elder years?
no, because I have a see, exercising has who was I can't remember, who was the one of the philosophers that said it is a crime, or it's like it's like the fault of man to not test his strength. Like it's a duty for you to become physically strong, and to not use that is a waste of life. I thought like that's a damn good phrase, and that is something I wish to live by. This should be the point, like you should be able to rely on your body in any capacity. So like physical strength is like your duty as a human. And like that's like a badass phrase. I like that, and I want to forever live by that, because I don't want to, like, if I ever have kids, I don't want my kids to be like embarrassed by the shape of their father. I want my kids to look at me like, man, dad's in fucking shape. Like I want my kids to like be able to grab my arm and do a pull up on it, and I can hold them and not be out of shape, not out of breath, just walking up the fucking stairs.
Nice.
Like that to me, it's like you should always be like your kid should look at you and think, I want to look like my father. That should like always be a thing for me. Like your kid should be able to see you physically impose them like your own strength on something. Like you should like, that's how I want to be. Like it's why whenever I see people who say like, oh my god, their kid is in disgusting shape. No, it's because their parents exercise and you fat cunts do fuck all. The reason why the kid is in shape is because their parents are role models of that kid. And that kid can do shit that you can't do, and you're like 4 times the age of that kid. Fuck off. So no, always be in physical condition. That it's just a thing. That's a good role model for your kids to be had, is to be healthy, because the kid also then picks up on good habits.
Yep.
Like if your kid is 6 years old and says grapes instead of a piece of chocolate, you're a good fucking parent. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here, but it does disgust me. Like, we have this like growing obesity epidemic with children. It's like, yeah, because parents fucking suck and you don't take care of yourselves. You know, and it's just like, no, don't give me the shaming crap. Like, no, you should be shamed. Like, get in
I
fucking
agree.
shape.
I
mean,
wonder
I
how
have-
much of this is also the fault.
I mean,
Crappy
I
society.
agree, and I'm a fat fuck. Just saying.
Because think kids are impressed by physical prowess.
Yeah.
Very much so. Like if you can do like crazy shit with your body, like do like a muscle up or a human flag, kids look at that in awe and think you're Superman.
Very much.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also like thinking, right? Like, again, I do wonder how much of this is kind of the fault of school in a certain way, because I remember there were a few like obese kids in elementary school, right? But there was like recess for like an hour a day where kids would just like run around outside, a lot of tag games and shit. And so like, not a lot of like bad fitness in elementary school, but then in middle school there's like none of that. And it's like you're having them sit at a desk for like 8 hours a day, and it's just kind of
Yeah.
like, you know, is that kind of bad conditioning? Because it's like I can't imagine an 11 to 14 year old, if left to their own device, well, maybe now, but if left to their own devices, would just like sit around all day. They'd probably like go outside and run around and shit.
I think now their own devices would be the fucking pocket calculator of
Yeah.
wizardry. That's the device. Yeah, I very much agree with that. I think if I was to run a school, I would have physical training, because that's what it was called when I was at school. I would have that every fucking day. I wouldn't have it once a week. Especially nowadays, because I feel like kids, you know. I mean, I'm not saying exercise every day is mandatory, but then you have to have, because I don't exercise every fucking day, but I feel you need to have good dietary habits to keep that in check. Because I remember, I'll tell you, there's a reason why I take it so seriously, is because on my grandmother's wall in her house, there was a picture of my father and 3 of his brothers, and they're like in their, I'd probably say like early 30s, most of them, because I was about maybe 6 or 7 at the time, so it was before that when the photo was taken. And when I went back home, I just looked at all of them now, and I thought of that picture, and I just went, none of you look like you do in that picture. And some of you weren't particularly great in the photo to begin with. And I just went, I never want to be this. This is a thing in my family that I will personally fucking break. I will never ever look like this. It's just an ego thing of, no, my vanity must always be in charge of this. Never ever do I want to be down this road where I look at myself in disgust. I can't. Like, I just look at food and think, is this good for me? No, don't fucking eat it then. I just have a monk-like discipline of, no, this is where this leads. Don't fucking touch it. I don't know why.
That's really good, though. That is really good.
I just, there's just something when I look at someone who is like in that condition, there's a part of my brain that says, how did you get to this point? And there's something profoundly morally wrong when I look at that. I don't know why, but it's just this thing of this, a human being should not look like this. I look at like Steve Reeves, who was an actor who played Hercules in like the 50s. I look at him and think like, that is how a human should look, always. As much as you can. I mean, I know old age can deteriorate you to a point, but I look at that and just think that is the ideal of man. Look like that as long as you possibly can. Just because it is a good moral outlook on your physical condition. If I was a coach, this is how I would teach people. I just like show a picture of Steve Reeves, like, this is how you should look fucking always. Not like Arnold, who was juiced to the gills since he was fucking 16. Obviously, because that's no way, that's not a achievable look. But Steve Reeves, like, yes, this look him up, and you tell him like, yeah, that's an achievable condition. So always be that. You should be able to do
Seriously,
pull-ups.
second. Stop that. Fuck it. It's so annoying to listen to.
It's become background noise to me. It just sounds like he's moving furniture.
I know, but it sounds like fucking sandpaper grinding.
What is he actually doing?
I don't know.
I'm just kind of like moving around, or like I was
Sounds
sitting
like
up.
you're grinding the dust off hard skin of your heels.
Can you like get a headset or some shit with a mic on?
Or reduce the sensitivity.
That would work too.
I'm feeling sweating my ass off in this booth.
Again, it's just a me thing though.
It's
So,
hot as fuck
don't
in this
mind.
thing.
Yeah, I'll be better about muting myself, and I'm not.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
also
don't have to
drink.
mute yourself. It's just I just gotta admit, it's just a me thing. I get annoyed by things like that too easy. So I don't mean to be an asshole.
Drink.
Oh man, I get fucking annoyed when I hear like people like eating out of a bowl with a spoon. Then they get to the bottom and the spoon just starts clanking against the bottom of the bowl
Oh, that's pain.
every time they take a bite. That's such a pet peeve of mine. So I know what you mean.
So
Noise.
Sticks of spoon clank videos must piss you off. I feel weird watching him knowing my name is Spoon. I don't know. It's just whenever he just says Spoon Clank, I feel like, why am I feeling involved in this as if I'm memed in some way? Because I had the name before I started watching him. So when I like Spoon clanking his thing, I went, oh, why do I feel weird about this? Good videos though. Also, everyone should drink a teaspoon of whiskey every day.
Really?
Yeah, because obviously, because I feel like a teaspoon is enough to where there's healthy benefits of drinking whiskey, because there is.
Really?
Yeah, it helps. It's an appetite suppression. It dilutes the blood, and it's a anti-infectant for certain things. Don't quote me
Okay.
on that.
Is there a special kind of whiskey you should drink, or is it
The
just a
expensive kind.
The expensive kind, of course. I mean, I have one for I have one for like 50 euros here. What's it called again? Milton Duff, 15, aged 15.
Say the name again.
Milton Duff in one word, and Valentines.
Oh, Ballantine's. Yeah, that's a blended Scotch.
Yeah, is that good or is it bad?
Ballantine's is blended. Just means it's a different grains that goes into it. It's usually mixed with wheat.
Oh.
It just depends on how you like your whiskey. There's some people that don't like blends because they're snooty bastards like myself. Even though I have half of my racks are blended. Like bourbon is blended. Bourbon is mainly corn, but the rest of it it's a blend. Whereas Scotch is usually single malt barley. That's all that single malt means. I would say find a whiskey that you like. This is going to end up in a whiskey conversation, but if you if it's a region called Speyside or Highlands, Speyside is a region in Highland. It's more of your pretty whiskies, your flowery whiskies. So it's going to be more dark fruit kind of notes. Cinnamon is very prominent in those ones. Whereas bourbon is going to be more cherry and caramel, depending on the one that you want to buy. I would recommend Four Roses. Four Roses is a nice, or Bullet as well. If you can get Maker's 46, oh dear God, that's some good shit.
Oh yeah, that's some good shit.
Yes.
Maker's 46. How much is one of those bottles then?
They're probably the same price as the one you just mentioned.
Oh, nice. Four Roses. I'll commit that one to memory.
Yeah, Four Roses is good. If you want aggressive whiskeys, that I think Oil Guy would probably drink Pete, just because he's bearded, and therefore I think he probably would. I don't know though, but the three you would look out for is Lefroy, Artbeg, and Lagavulin.
Okay.
Yes,
Lagavulin is surprisingly nice. I remember reading the notes and someone said kippers, which is fish, and I went, "Dear God, that's no." And then I had it and I drank it and I think this is fantastic. Where's the kippers in this? Who the fucking hell wrote that? Bad person. There's no kippers in this shit. It was surprisingly sweet. Peaty is smoke. If you like the sea and like seaweed squares, I recommend Lefroy. If you like bacon and campfire, I'd recommend Ardbeg, because Ardbeg is like the forest and that kind of smoke, whereas Lefroy is seaside, and Lagavulin is the adult in the room. Because there's a running meme between Lefroy and Ardbeg. It's like Cult of Ardbeg and like League of Lefroy. And then Lagavulin is just the adult of just you two are children, which is like the grown-up version of it.
Well, the thing that like originally got my eye with Lagavulin, there's a show, Parks and Rec, and Ron Swanson, this based, manly, libertarian, self-sufficient character,
would drink that.
Drinks it every fucking episode.
Yes, so it's really weird because Lagavulin would make they would make like limited edition versions. I think the last one they did was a Pedro Menes one. Pedro Menes is a very sticky, sweet type of sherry. Usually you would do Oloroso is the sherry that the vast majority would be in, but Pedro Menes is like a special variety of sherry, so I imagine it would have been a lot sweeter than normal Lagavulin. But it's really unusual because Lagavulin makes just the one whiskey, and it's a really well-known one. They don't do anything else, as far as I know. I think they've done the... I think it's Lagavulin 16 is what they would normally do. Lagavulin 12 or 16, I can't remember now which. I think it's 16. And then
at my local
16.
Yeah, there's 16 and there's also 8.
The 8, yeah. I've never had the 8. Apparently the 8 is more aggressive.
Yeah.
Which would not surprise me because the longer you leave it, the more smoother it tends to be. If you want a real kick in the face whiskey that makes you go like, oh, there's one called Ardbeg Ugadile, which is literally how it's pronounced and written. If you are near someone who knows whiskey, say Ardbeg Ugi, and they'd probably know what it is. That's... I have a bottle of it right there, actually. It's 54%. Really? So it's quite aggressive, to say the least. And I wouldn't recommend going face first into this if you are new to peat, because it will be overwhelming. Unless your palate is used to like eating spice and smoke, in which case you're probably all right. But even the 10 is quite in your face, but the alcohol content is lower. Because once you start ramping up the alcohol with the peat, it's gnarly. It'll spank you, not gently. It'll be mean.
See, I was gonna say I don't remember heat being too shocking to me the first time I had it, but then I remember,
The Lagavulin?
No,
Lagavulin isn't too bad.
I think I had Lefroy before Lagavulin.
Ooh, Lefroy is nasty. I had Lefroy 10 in a bar with, funny enough, with an ambassador for the UN. Don't ask me how the hell that happened.
Okay.
We were discussing politics and Trump because I disobey all the rules, and when I'm in a bar, I discuss politics like an idiot.
Wait, there's a rule against that?
Yeah, there's a rule is don't discuss politics or religion when you've been drinking.
Really?
Yes, you do know this rule?
Really, religion's one of my favorite things to discuss while drinking.
Okay, because there's an open rule of do not discuss religion or politics while drinking, because it tends to be a heated discussion, and when you mix alcohol, it tends to exacerbate the emotions. So it is best to avoid it, just in case you amp up unnecessarily heated arguments with alcohol.
I get what you mean.
Yes.
I do get what you mean.
You guys have never heard this phrase, really?
Yeah,
No.
it's all over the place in
Okay, well, you have a
So
bigger
it's
drinking culture than Norway, apparently. So
So no. We a lot of
Eh.
drinking. It's just that we Norwegians talk about anything. Of course, we come to blows quite often, though. So
Yeah,
Well,
Vikings. That's no
You need to take the dick out of your mouth long enough to have the conversation, don't you?
are you speaking about me or the Swedes, huh?
Yeah, you can fuck the
I don't
Swedes
know, I
if
don't-
you
It's more
want.
of a
I
it's
don't
more of
judge.
a penis pastry.
Uh,
I don't consider any of the Scandinavians particularly cocksucking. I'll be honest.
I know.
I feel like if I ever look at history and go, who would you say are the least cocksucking? The Vikings would probably be up there for me. I'm gonna be honest.
Pretty
Like if
much.
you said to me, like, who are the like rampaging, bloodthirsty psychopaths? I'd go like, yeah, Vikings. Yeah.
I mean, we're the reason why
He's a
England
mis-
decided to become real manly. We gave them the Viking genes, and also we gave them incentive to man up and stop being a bunch of pussies. You're welcome, by the way.
Yeah, but your government right now is kind of the opposite of that. So,
I know. We had
which
to
is really
put it away.
sad.
We had to put it away. We got so much money.
Oh my God, money civilizes you.
Yes, it
Oh,
does.
that explains why Africa is the way it is.
Pretty much.
Oh, I could make an even worse joke now.
Please do.
No man.
That explains the American blacks too. And this would explain why, like, LeBron James is a simp for China.
LeJohn Brames.
Oh,
This is an interesting discussion, actually. Does having money make you more civilized? I think Rocky would agree, because there's a bit in Rocky 3 where he says that once you got your title, you became civilized, you lost your edge.
There probably
think
is a
that's
lot to be said about that. Because after all, money
wanna kind of-
buys
I wanna-
safety, and safety...
Yes, makes you complacent.
And when you're complacent, then you have time to worry about other bullshit.
Yeah. Huh.
Though they also say that an armed society is a polite society.
well, that
Yes,
is
that's
true.
Texas's motto.
The same
Base.
motto of Texas, yeah. Hi, I hope you enjoyed this segment from the Sultans of Shadilay podcast.
If you like this segment, please click like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out the full podcast in the description below.